Well, less than 24 hours after getting absolutely spanked by the New Jersey Devils, the Oilers, they've got no time to dwell on it as they hit the ice this afternoon. Might actually be the best possible thing. You just delete yesterday's game, you turn the page, and you move on as they head down to Detroit for a meeting with the Red Wings down at Little Caesars Arena. Shout out Little Caesars. I could use one right now. But hello and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, presented by Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And speaking of never ordinary, I am joined all afternoon long by my pal, Matthew Wozniak. Wozzy, as his Raiders are also getting absolutely smoked by the Kansas City Chiefs right now. Woz, Geno Smith might in fact not be the guy, but Woz, vibe check. How we doing?
I feel like Geno Smith should prepare his a ticket to the CFL, if anything. But I'm feeling good because Manchester United won earlier today in a very big win against Liverpool, one of the best teams in the league. So I'm feeling good, and hopefully the Edmonton Oilers can top it off.
Boys are up. Boys are up. Today is an amazing, amazing sports day. These are the days that sports fans dream about. You get NFL bright and early. Shout out Europe, growing the game. You get Oilers in the afternoon. You get football all day. You get Jays later tonight. This is what hungover Sundays are all about. I also saw Lance Kane put in the chat earlier. What a great sports day. Cold and rainy. We got the Raiders on in the morning, Oilers on afternoon, Jays in the evening. I don't know about you, but I am getting day drunk in my boxers. Lance, we're two peas in a pod. Who knows if I'm wearing pants right now, but let's get caught up into the chat. Austin, I love you. And this is why you need to be the first comment of the day, because we're starting shockingly negative and just inaccurate as Get Wrecked, sick name, I'll give him that, says, what moronic move is Knob going to pull today? Won't be surprised. Philp is still in the press box. Unbelievable. Minutes later, the Oilers would announce Noah Philp in the lineup. Couple of guys out, some changes. Curtis Lazar, we were dead accurate with the Jeff Skinner Award because he scores a goal yesterday. Bang, he's out of the lineup today. We knew that one was coming. But Austin was in. Says, Bordzy, you know what to do. And that would be fire up the fucking band, as my pal Austin says. I'll be the captain. Look at me. Look at me. He says, good morning, Oil friends. Let's play some hockey. Spinner Chip 2K16, another dope name. Let's turn this roadie around, fellas. Rusty, I feel it in my bones or my cubes, as Matt Holden would say. Today is the day that the offense starts to click. Let's go Oilers. I think the theme today, shoot the damn puck. Do not pass up any opportunities with that on your stick, because that's how you get out of scoring slumps. Lance Kane with a simple copy it. And then Maynard, probably kind of early to think about must wins, but must win, can't lose. I don't know if we're there yet, but the urgency is definitely ratcheted up here for the Edmonton Oilers. And then Bosch, this one made me giggle. He said, hopefully the Bush Bakery is closed today. No fresh turnovers. Mixing a fucking win here. West Side Shane just nice and blunt. And we like it that way. Bella, let's go, guys. We're turning things around today. I can feel it. And then Maynard, fair enough, brother. Enough is enough. Connor, score a freaking goal. So, Woz, obviously you watched that game yesterday. I do love that we get to just get right back on the ice today. That was a shitty one to have to talk about yesterday because, I said it off the top. They got spanked by the New Jersey Devils. And I'd argue, aside from Stuart Skinner's performance against the Rangers, the Oilers haven't deserved to win any of these three games on the road trip thus far. And throughout these games, it's been the same issues. Low energy, perimeter plays, not driving it to the middle, not going to the dangerous areas. And then you parlay that with the inability to keep control of the puck on your stick in your own end. Everything is snowballed here for the Edmonton Oilers. And while I think we're all Oilers fans, we're veterans enough. We've seen some shitty starts to the season for the Edmonton Oilers before, and this one isn't as bad, but we all know was better than anyone. Early season losses, when you are chasing the game 10 games into the season, those add up, and you are playing catch up for the rest of the year. And just straight up, this Oilers team is way better than what they have shown on this road trip. It's been frustrating. But I'm curious your thoughts, yesterday's game, the road trip as a whole, and is your positivity, be positive heading into this game? Because I do think this is one where it's the kind of shit or get off the pot time here. Enough messing around. I believe in the Oilers are going to bounce back tonight. But do you? Damn it, I said today.
I honestly watching that game, I was like any other Oilers fan. I was bored. I was annoyed. The offense looked so bland, so stale. I posted that meme of the white chicken and rice on the Oilers Nation socials because that's what it felt like watching the Edmonton Oilers. It was just stale and hard to watch because they weren't really creating anything. Honestly, it felt like, and you have all these high profile forwards in McDavid and Draisaitl. You're wondering when's the offense going to come from these guys. I know Draisaitl has a knack for scoring, but Connor McDavid has looked weird. He said at the start of the season he wants to shoot the puck more, that he believes he can score more. Well, where is that? I don't know. Is there something missing? Is it because there's so many fresh faces in the lineup? And I think a lot of the criticism has to come down to Chris Knobloch and how he's managing the lineup.
And as we just see it, shout out Bob Stauffer just tweeting out the Edmonton Oilers. Brett, I'll give you some time. If you want to grab that, we'll go through it in our need to know. But absolutely it's been the Oilers stars are the one that haven't really performed here for the Oilers. I'd argue the bottom six been pretty good. Defense as a whole has been okay. And I made this joke yesterday. If I told you 5 games into the season that the most consistent part of the Edmonton Oilers would be their goaltending, you probably would have laughed in my face and not believed me, but here we are. And you mentioned the stars. Also, a couple people, Jesse, our best players have been the problem. Nurse, Leon, Connor, Boosh. I like that you put Nurse in our best players. I do like that. Brian says Detroit playing well. This is going to be a gut check game. And really, I'd argue everyone not named Ryan Nugent-Hopkins can be better offensively on the squad. It's been weird to see. You just mentioned Connor McDavid. You look at his stats, 7 apples, 5 games. That's very good. But it is accurate to say that it has been pedestrian for Connor McDavid. It has not been up to his elite standards. Leon Draisaitl yesterday was basically sleepwalking around the ice. I didn't notice him whatsoever. Evan Bouchard has yet to record a point so far this season. That's crazy. The power play looks stagnant, like I mentioned, all around the outsides, all around the perimeter. We do expect to see a different looking power play today for the Oilers, but they're playing the game on the edges, around the boards, not in those dirty areas. You've seen the Oilers overpass the puck. So for the love of God, please rip that puck today. But on the other side, it's the Detroit Red Wings. Forgive my pun. They are red hot right now as well. They opened the season with a season opening loss. Wow. They have rattled off 4 straight wins. And you look at the team comparison here, the head-to-head. Damn it stinks seeing all yellow on the other side. They've scored 3.2 goals per game. Their defense been good, 2.4 against. Power play, pretty okay. I'll say at 22.2. But then you look at that PK, 91.7%. And you have the Edmonton Oilers struggling power play at 18%. This is going to be an area where I'm going to be watching today because, as we know, the Oilers, hey, they leech off that power play. They score a lot of goals that way. It's okay to depend on your star players, but it has not been happening so far to start the season. And the Red Wings, they've looked good. Cam Talbot, dude doesn't know the fountain, or maybe he's been to the fountain of youth, rather, I should say. He's been great this year. We're not going to see him today. I do believe it's going to be John Gibson. But this team, they've got it together. They beat Toronto 6-3 at home. They then beat Toronto the next night 3-2. They then took the Panthers 4-1. They took down the Lightning 2-1. So those 4 wins have come against some pretty good squads in the Eastern Conference. And it's not totally a get-right spot here for the Edmonton Oilers. The Red Wings are not a pushover. They will not lay over and die. Oilers are going to need to be dialed in against the Red Wings.
Yeah, and I guess the one silver lining is that they're facing John Gibson because he started off the season pretty rough with a .615 save percentage, but then the other night against Tampa, he had a .969, so it really depends on what version of John Gibson they get tonight, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they faced Dave Riddick the other night, and they couldn't seem to beat him well enough. So it's really about just creating those high danger opportunities and getting to the front of the net, creating those dirty opportunities. And honestly, they haven't really had those players who want to get in those dirty positions, like a Corey Perry, like a Zach Hyman, score those garbage goals, but they also haven't created those chances. So it's going to be very interesting. You know, defensively, the Edmonton Oilers haven't been too horrendous this season, other than some of the glaring turnovers from Bouchard and Nurse, right? But, you know, I looked into the stats, and the Oilers have the second fewest shots against at 5v5 this season in the NHL with 83. Only Utah has fewer, and they also have the 8th fewest goals against with 13 in the NHL. But they sit 28th in the NHL for goals for with 13. So we got to find a way to score some goals here.
I see somebody in here, Maynard. So Gibson will goalie us. No. We're not starting like that. But we've definitely seen that movie before. Also, Walls, I could barely listen to what you were saying because I just got a notification that Drake May is in concussion protocol.
Oh, no.
But let's power through. Let's do our need to know information, courtesy of our friends from Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that Will Hawk name. Look at that logo. Look at that bowl right there. It's beautiful. Find out, or you can order their stuff, obviously, from WillHawkBeefJerky.com. They gladly fill orders of any size, from jerky, sausage, other products. Go to their Leduc location or go check it out online. So we got some news. This is why we're doing the 30-minute show today. Don't get used to it. Pre-gaming will be an hour. But with back-to-backs on the weekend, we knew we weren't going to get any lineup news till 30 minutes prior. So Bert, pull it up for me here, what we're looking at this afternoon. We're going nuclear. This is a get-right spot. Shooting pucks, Draisaitl shot props. I love them today. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Andrew Mangiapane. We saw Nuge on McDavid's left wing. Looked very good. But here we go. Nuge back to 2C, where he will play with Vasily Podkolzin and one Jack Roslovic. Roslovic recorded his first point as an Oiler in yesterday's game. Your third line, Trent Frederick on the wing, and he's back. Noah Philp back in the lineup. He's not the Jeff Skinner Award winner right now. That's Curtis Lazar, but Philp will be centering Matthew Savoy and Trent Frederick. I like that trio. And then your fourth line, Ike Howard back in after sitting up in the press box yesterday with, it's Kapanen. Kind of fucked that up. But Henrique, fourth line centering with Matt Savoy. So that means Curtis Lazar, he's out of the lineup. And David Tomasek, Tommy Smokes, will also be watching from the press box. Your decor, Ekholm Bush, Nurse with Stetcher, fumbling on the names here, and then Brett Kulak with Ty Emberson. Sadly, we did get news today. Alec Regula has officially been placed on injured reserve after he got lit up behind the net against the Vancouver Canucks in game number 2 of the season. Get better, Alec Regula. And the Oilers, against the Wings last season, they went 1-0-1, and now they have actually earned a point in 7 consecutive games against these Red Wings, dating back to 2021, 2022. They're 5-0-2 in that stretch, including 3 straight wins at Little Caesars Arena. So the past, the history, telling us this could be a good spot for the Edmonton Oilers. And then it's stew in the pipes for the Edmonton Oilers. Stuart Skinner getting the start. He was awesome in his last outing. He's been pretty awesome to start this season, and the proof is in the pudding on the screen right there. 1-1-1 record, 1.97 goals against with a .921 save percentage. And oh yeah, I'm not going to say the word, but there is one of those down there as well. On the other side, Bert, let's just pull up the Detroit lineup and we can just go through it. They've had a good season. Dylan Larkin, he's leading the way. He's the leader of the squad. He's the captain. Also, this is the worst names, I'll say, of a team of trying to pronounce them. Emmett Finney, Dylan Larkin, Mason Appleton, Alex DeBrincat with Marco Casper and Jonathan Berggren, Andrew Kopp with JT Compher and Michael Brandsegg-Nygaard. Your fourth line, JVR, James Van Riemsdyk with Michael Rasmussen and Elmer Soderblom. And then your D pairings, Ben Sherratt with Mo Seider, Simon Edvinsson with Axel Sandin Pellica, Albert Johansson with Jacob Bernard Docker. There's a couple hyphenated hyphens in there for some of those names. They're very It's a very European-led squad,
Yeah.
I guess you could say as well, but 4-1-0 in their first 5 games of the season. The Detroit Red Wings, don't look now, but this might be one of their years where they're finally, I mean, they've made the playoffs in recent seasons, but they seem more threatening this year than they have been in years past. Let's go now to your storyline, your key to victory. Play along in the chat. What are you looking for tonight from the Oilers? Is it as simple? Because I think for me, my storyline and key to victory, I have it all capitals written down. It's basically the only thing I had written down pre-show. Shoot the puck. Drive it to the nets. Go in the dirty areas. Waz, I like that you mentioned we are missing Corey Perry. We are missing Zach Hyman. Those are guys who live in the blue paint. And I read a quote from Adam Henrique earlier today saying that, yeah, some guys might not be built to be power forwards in the blue paint, but that is all about effort. That is all about willing to get a stick in the back, trying to get in John Gibson's kitchen. So I think emphasis, huge. Shoot the puck with traffic in front. I saw one yesterday. Darnell leading a 3-on-2 odd man rush, dead center of the ice in the slot, and decides to pass the puck over to the sideboards, completely nullifying a scoring chance. If I see that again, I'm going to lose it. So my emphasis is shoot the puck and traffic in front of the net. Waz, what are you looking for from the Oilers today?
I love what you said there, but I'm going to honestly go with Stuart Skinner because he's had a nice start this season other than that Flames game, that little flub he had. Well, not little, it was pretty big. But against the Rangers, he looked pretty solid. Obviously, he got a shutout. Even against the Islanders there, I thought he looked pretty just calm and cool. He didn't seem too chaotic as we saw, I think, a lot of times last season. And he's been tracking the puck well. So Stuart Skinner, I really hope he can have another good performance. And the numbers you guys show there of his is like hanging in the Louvre or whatever the place is called. Those stats look pretty good. I know he's 1-1-1, but Stuart Skinner has we need him to have a good season.
He has done his job so far to start this year. Once again, it's been a quick start, and the thing we always argue with Stu is we need to find consistency. But so far, he's passed with flying colors. He's looked so much better. I keep joking we should all be losing 15 pounds if it's going to impact us the way that it has Stuart Skinner, because he looks like a completely different goaltender. Bert, pull it up one more time for me, the Oilers lineup, just so that people can get a look at it in case they are joining late. But Wazzy, I think today's a day where you bet on Connor McDavid, you bet on Leon Draisaitl, and you say, thank me later. When these two are going to be up on the top line with Nuge has been the best Oiler without a doubt so far this season. Of forwards, defenseman, I'll say, skater, I'll say. And then it's Andrew Mangiapane right below him. I like that he is still sticking with Connor McDavid, getting his shot. He seems like a Nuge guy that you could put Andrew Mangiapane with absolutely anyone on the ice because he plays a smart game. He plays a simple game. But Waz, I don't know if you got any shillings. We'll get into it in a minute with Bordzy's bankroll. But you confident? I like shot props for Connor and Leon both. I like 2+ points for both of them. And maybe even sprinkle in Andrew Mangiapane points. I think the big dogs today are saying, hop on my back, and they're going to carry the Oilers to a dub.
Yeah, I don't have anything right for this game, but every time I have sprinkled anything, it seems to not have happened. So maybe it's probably a good idea that I don't. So, but yeah, Mangiapane's looked very tenacious, especially on the puck. He's been wearing down defenders, so he's been good on the forecheck. Roslovic also, I thought he looked good in that game against the Devils. He was carrying the puck well into the offensive zone, and he helped create a scoring chance, which led to a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goal. So he's been a nice, welcome addition. So I'm curious to see how the bottom six will chip in. You know, David Tomasic's out of the lineup, which is very curious because he's created a lot of nice chances for the Edmonton Oilers. He's found himself in some good spots, and I wonder if that's just kind of putting in a fresh body in replace, just because it's been a long road trip for the Edmonton Oilers and playing a back-to-back. Who knows what time they got into Detroit, right? And if they got a lot of rest, that does play a factor. So I just wonder if it's not really a punishment to David Tomasic. It's just getting a fresh body in, like with a Noah Phil.
And when the Edmonton Oilers cupboards are as full as they are, especially in the forward group, especially along the wing, you got to bring your best game every night, or you might be the odd man out. Even if you score a goal and one Curtis Lazar, you're still getting slapped with the Jeff Skinner Award. You might be watching from the press box. Matthias Janmark, he's in. Thought Wallman was playing. Jacob, same thing. Thought Wallman was playing. Color me shocked. Chris Knobloch told us throughout the week that we might see him this weekend. I was never going to hold my breath. tend to not believe Nobby a lot of times when he's talking about injuries. We're not seeing Jake Woolman, but because they put Alec Regula on injured reserve, that means Janmark or Jake Woolman could be activated. And Waz, I do like you made a good point about the Oilers defense. Like, structurally, they've been very good. They aren't giving up a ton of grade A chances when they're set up in their own zone. It has just been the back-breaking errors trying to move the puck out of the zone. And one man who does that better than most is one Jake the Snake Woolman. So I really think it's going to be a sight for sore eyes when Jake the Snake comes back in the lineup. Let's go now to our starting goaltender report, brought to you by our beautiful Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day, perfect for every day, perfect for when you are hungover as shit like I am today. I got a couple in the fridge, a little hair of the dog with Oilers and NFL football. You couldn't ask for a better remedy. Shout out to them. Pick them up. 2 locations in the Edmonton area, or simply check liquorconnect.com and find out where you can buy these beautiful, beautiful cans. Pull it up for me, Bert. What we got, the tail of the tape. That's what I'm talking about. Stuart Skinner with the yellow on his side. 1-1-1, 197 goals against and a 921 save percentage. And John Gibson, the very John Gibson that I know some people in this chat were banging the drum last season that he's better than Stuart Skinner, that he's the answer. Once again, only a couple of games into the season, but it has not been the ideal start for John Gibson. 1-1-0 record, 357 goals against, 867 save percentage. We spent a lot of time talking about John Gibson last season. I never really wanted him to be an Oiler. Did you? Were you pro Gibson or were you anti Gibson?
I was, as the season went on, I got warmer to the idea, but that contract also just didn't seem too pleasant for the Edmonton Oilers considering their salary cap situation. But, it's just funny seeing these stats. Everyone, like you took the words right out of my mouth. They were banging the drum for John Gibson, and you look at these two contrasting stats. Stuart Skinner with, it's only been 3 games, right? But 1.97 goals against averages. Hey, that's pretty cool to see. And then John Gibson, he's been wishy-washy as well. So I think we've had kind of the Edmonton Oilers experience so far in these 5 games with, Bouchard turnovers and Stuart Skinner blunders. But hopefully they can turn a page here in Detroit.
We got him out of the way early. We're getting them out of the way earlier, and now we go. Now we build off from there. Let's go, Stu. Even kind of like some of Stu's saves on Bet365 today because Detroit, they got an offense, but Stu, I believe, is going to be up to the task. Want to give a quick shout out to Greta Bar Yeg, Arcade Bar, Street Food, my favorite spot in the entire city. TV situation, elite. Food, elite. And just vibes with Greta Bar Yeg. It is a great time. Great for a sports day like today, maybe even the Blue Jays later on this evening. Shout out to Greta Bar Yeg. Bert, you can pull it up one more time just for the Detroit Red Wings lineup here. If you had to pick someone, give me your player to watch tonight. Who do you think the Edmonton Oilers should maybe keep an eye on defensively, I guess I'll say? Because for me, it starts and ends with Dylan Larkin. We know how fast that man is. We know how skilled that man is. And he is a guy that you cannot let. We've seen the Oilers give up 2 shorthanded breakaways in the last 2 games. That's the guy that's going to have a breakaway in this hockey game today.
Let's go Marco Kasper. I feel like he's a sneaky good forward in that Red Wings top 6. There's a reason why he's there. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Red Wings games. Whenever I see their highlights, he seems to pop up.
Fair enough. Let's go now to Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Do so responsibly. Do so as you only bet what you are willing to lose. Yesterday the bankroll went 3-4-3. We went perfect plus 470. And today we got a little bit of this and that. And I'm going to be real with you. I let Brett make his bankroll today. This is the first time I've seen it. And I love it, Bert. I'm loving this. McDavid, 2+ points. Nice -110. I said yesterday, that's really the best value you're going to get for Connor McDavid, 2+ points. Your next one, a huge anytime goal plus 240. Sad part is he's not on Connor McDavid's wing. But if you look so far this season, Nuge don't need anybody else. He's been doing it on his own. He's been the best Oiler. He's been the most consistent Oiler. Nuge anytime goal. Let's ride. And then the Boosh. We need the Boosh bounce back. Didn't really happen yesterday. As I said, Evan Bouchard, 5 games into the season, has yet to record a point for the Edmonton Oilers. He's getting it done on the power play today, even though Detroit's PK has been good. The Oilers, they're going to be throwing pucks, funneling to the front of the net with traffic in front. Adam Henrique told me so. So I love that one for Boosh power play. Point was, which of those 3 bets do you like the most? And do you got any shillings on Bet365 today?
I will momentarily after I just saw this, because this seems like it could turn into a very fun night. That Nuge anytime goal seems very tasty. So, Bert, you did great work here, and yeah, that's why I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Pulling
exactly.
up Bet365 as we speak. Let's see here. What was I like this from Buff Snelda. I'd rather lose all my bets and have an Oilers win, but imagine you hit all your bets and the Oilers win. Pretty good. Also, Devontae Smith, 79-yard touchdown. Shebang for my fantasy team.
Good.
We like that. Matthias Janmark. Uncle Rico said so. We must listen that together. Sorry, excuse me. Shut up, my boy Brett. Plus 370 if you parlay all 3 of those picks together. However, you can't parlay the power play points, so you just have to grab a regular Boosh point. But I'll meet you at the cashier. Yesterday, we went perfect. Hopefully today we do as well. And was my final question for you. Who wins this game? What is your score prediction? And give me an anytime goal scorer. You tend to pick for the other team, so I'm nervous for what you're going to say. You tend to be accurate. Maybe I should bet on whoever you say now. But was score prediction, anytime goal scorer.
No, anytime goal scorer. I want to go with Matt Savoy. I feel like he's due. He's been great, although he's not getting the best minutes because of Mr. Knobloch. And I'm gonna go with a cheeky 4-3 Oilers win. I think they are due for a win here. I think they're gonna really want to get it back from last night. Yesterday.
I agree with Lance in here. 4-2 for the Oily boys, and we're gonna stay hot, King. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, score another one, buddy. Why not? When you're feeling it, you're feeling it. Everybody needs to be more like Nuge. He's like the kid in class when he's like teacher's pet. You're like, this guy does everything right. Follow behind him, and he will lead the way. It's crazy. For what's plagued the Oilers the most this year, I'd say, is the inability to shoot the puck. Nuge, maybe not known for that all the time. He has been leading the way. He's in the trenches. Sadistic, 3-1 Oil, final buzzer, 4-1 Oil, Rusty, 6-2 with a McDavid Hattie.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Amen,
that'd be
brother.
sick.
Amen. You know what? Maybe I have to sprinkle on that. Responsibly, of course, only betting what we're willing to lose, and that will do it for our shortened, super hungover 30-minute version of Pregaming with Bordzy and Waz. You'll be live with me, Oilers Nation After Dark, in the afternoon at the conclusion of this hockey game. Keep it locked on the ON YouTube. Throw down your courtesy like on your way out. Make sure you are subscribed, and we will talk in a couple hours, hopefully positively, hopefully talking about that McDavid Hattie. Hopefully Evan Bouchard records his point. Stu, looking for a big one from you. Waz, I love you. Everyone in this chat. Brett, behind the scenes. And we will talk in a couple hours. Good luck, everybody.